Hi, I'm LDS in Medium, and thank you so much for tuning in today. I want to try to bring religion and spirituality closer together, and this is what this pod is all about. I will talk about my own thoughts and feelings as I am both LDS and have spiritual gifts, something that I've had my whole life, but I always thought that it was hard to combine these gifts with my religion. This has torn me into two directions, and I have talked to many people who feel the same way. I can't choose not to have my spiritual gifts, but I can choose how I use them. And I always want to use them for good and to help others. I believe my heavenly parents gave them to me for a reason. So, this is me. Join my quest for knowledge.
Men versus Women 8. This chapter is all about how women are givers and how men are takers. I will tell you right now that this was a hard chapter for me to read. The chapter starts off with a sentence: God created men to be providers, which means there's a tendency in every male soul to go into the world to gather and get things. And it continues: women, on the other hand, were created to be nurturers, which means they were designed to go into the world to give and care for things. And that is pretty much the sum of the entire chapter for you. Men take and women give, and he uses a lot of insights to back this up. When he starts talking about how most women believe that the key to a good relationship is to give and then give some more, I felt really guilty. I don't know how many times I said that I just give and give, but I don't get anything in return. And I felt depleted and eventually burned out. I gave to my husband and to the children, and I just gave, and I became more tired and more hollow until I broke. So, been down that path, and like it says, it works pretty well if you have healthy female friendships where you give to each other and you receive an equal give and flow. But not so much with men in the relationship. Next quote. Many women live in a false romantic fantasy world that says that the key to getting a loving response from your man is to give and give until he returns the favor. But that is not true. If you keep giving and giving to a man, he will simply take more. He will take as much as you will give him. And then he says, men don't give back without being asked to do so. Mind-blowing. When I read this, I got a revelation. What if they could teach this stuff in school? So much in my life would have been different had I known this before. I look back at my life and it's just like I said. I gave and I gave and I gave and gave some more. All the time expecting the other person to want to give back. Because in my mind, having to ask for things means that he doesn't love me. So I wait and feel more sad and lonely and unloved as time went by. Not once asking for what I actually needed. Well, I did ask once or twice. I got a pat on my cheek a day for a few weeks and then back to nothing. I obviously didn't know how to ask. So how do we do it? How do we ask for what we want and need? If you want to get something out of your relationship with a man, you have to take it from him. Take it. What exactly does that mean then? I feel uncomfortable asking, but Mark tells me I need to take what I want. So how do I do that then? I felt really pierced by the following statement. Anyone else guilty as charged? Most women sit around with their hearts constantly broken, living with the false assumption that a man who really loves them will attend to their every woman need, like he did when they were dating. These women don't understand that men act the way they do during the dating season for one reason and one reason only: to win the girl. Please rub it in some more, will you? Yes, I am one of these women, and maybe that is why I love watching K-dramas, because the men are so attentive in them. But on the other hand, those dramas end up when they win the girl, and hardly ever tell the story that comes after winning the girl. So the next part of the book is dedicated to how we women get our men to do things for us. And it starts off with telling us, women, to ask for what we want. And here comes the shocker. We need to ask more than once. We need to be persistent and ask again and again. Because it was a shocker for him to learn that women ask once and then expect something to happen. But apparently, once is like never asking in the first place. One time equals no time. You need to ask 2, 3, or 4 times. Just keep asking. Now why is that, you wonder? And here comes the answer. As the hunter, the competitor, the provider, he's a constant state of take. To him, life is about taking and winning. He's not likely to remember your request, unless it is somehow attached to something he might get for doing what you ask. He likened this to a verse in the Bible. Give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressing down, shaken together, and running over will be poured into your lap. And this is the golden ratio. One word is the command, give. And then 23 other words is attached to the reward they will receive once they have given. So it's like the 1-23 rule we might want to start using in order for us to do it in the way the Lord does. And maybe we will get the same results. I'm using a little bit sarcasm here, but the point is, we as women need to understand the structure in this in order for us to change our approach. I love being a woman because it's what I know. And I love the fact that men and women aren't the same. But it would have been nice having it already programmed into us, the innate knowing of how we function. I'm not really all that into trial and error. It leaves too much room for error. Quote, unless a man knows what he will get out of fulfilling a request, the request won't stick in his mind. No gain, no male brain. End of quote. I'm curious. If I have any male listeners, is this really true? I guess he's drawing all males into the same man category. And there are many exceptions, but as a general, is this correct? Would it be better if we started up a request with the reward first and then the request? He goes into explaining how he one day listened to a relationship expert who claimed that women only like to ask once. Since his wife would ask multiple times, he didn't really believe it, so he asked around the women at his church, and lo and behold, he got the same answer from these women who had given up on their husbands. Women will ask, but only once. I was like that too. Once should be enough to ask for help. But I live at home with 3 boys, and let me tell you, if I ask once, nothing happens. I think I will have to look into a reward system. Like locking in the car key and you get 1 digit for each task you do at home. I wonder if that will work. Be the light, share the light, spread the light, shine.
This is my journey. Thank you so much for keeping me company today. Please download, like, share, and subscribe, and help spread the light and spread the word to expand our community. Let's bring more love, peace, and unity to this world. Take care of yourself and your loved ones. Always be grateful, kind, and loving. Be brave and remember to step out of your comfort zone and smile. If you support us on Patreon, you will get access to our meditations and extra materials so you can download them as MP3. Also, we now have a Facebook group, which you can access from our Facebook community. Please answer the questions as you apply to participate. It will be a safe haven where we can keep discussing religion and spirituality, our spiritual gifts, and self-development. Remember, one person can make a difference, but together we can change the world.